So I'm watching that, fall asleep, wake up when Sergio calls me, like all fucked up, feel depressed, like hungover bad. Wake up, I go walk to the bathroom, like, ugh. I by the way, slept butt naked. I see mad black and brown on my back. And I'm like, yo, did I get so drunk I shit myself? I fell asleep on top of the peanut butter bomb. The peanut butter bomb was all over my sheets, all over my back. Bro, nightmare disaster. So I take a shower, check out. Bro, my room is covered in peanut butter bomb. I had no cash. So I swear to God, my friend Pat had come to one of the shows at Laugh Boston 2 days ago and gave me like a bag of police merch. So as a tip, I left the housekeepers a Blue Lives Matter hat. I swear to God. That's when I left. And they have to clean up like a legit mess. But it's like, yo.
They probably think it's fecal matter.
No, honestly.
They probably think it's feces.
We have ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
And the thing is, freedom can be a curse because the more free you are to do whatever you want, the less you do. Because your brain can't understand that there's so many options. I mean, what about a menu? You ever go like to the Cheesecake Factory menu? It's hard to pick what you want because you don't know what to do. So, I mean, America is kind of like a big cheesecake factory. We have too many options. The thought that I want to leave you with is just whatever you're doing in life, however you feel, however you feel like your year went or where it's going, just know everything's fine. We've been through this before. This too shall pass. If you're feeling really, really happy, soak up every moment and just be happy for as long as you can. If you're not feeling happy, just know you will be happy eventually. And even if you die, it's not the end. So you really have nothing to fear, because if you can start living your life with no fear of death and not caring if you live or die, then you can live. That's how you really live, is when you're saying, I don't give a shit if I die or not. I want to just go out and having as much fun as I can and be as happy as I can. That's what you should do. Well, the worst gift I think I've said it before in one of the pods, the worst gift I ever saw is my friend Danny gave his 5-year girlfriend, like they were dating for 5 years, he gave her on Christmas $100 cash and a card.
And after you said that last week on Hey Babe, a lot of fans wrote in they got that from their boyfriend.
It's a horrible gift. My father once got me, no, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't my dad. It was one of my other ex-girlfriend's fathers. I have a lot of ex-girlfriends. Jeez.
Holy shit.
One of my ex-girlfriend's fathers got me a $100 or $200 gift card to Home Depot and was like, learn how to use a tool. And then I think I bought like Christmas ornaments with it. I do stupid shit too. Like I'll like mail my daughter a card to the house where I could just like give it like in her room, but I'll just mail it. And then like, oh, you got mail. And she'll be like, don't you live like next door? I'm like, well, actually I live in the basement. Me and your mother are having problems, but little mom mozzarella, what are you ready to do?
We're getting crazy. I got the semolina ready. You know what I mean?
He cracks people over the head with semolina bread.
In 2022, you're either getting hit with the semolina or you're getting hit with the semolina. Let's talk about people taking shits in bathrooms at work and the reaction when you knock on the door. Do you ever deal with this?
Okay.
All right, so you go in a bathroom at work, right?
Okay.
And you knock on the door.
Okay.
And these are the 3 reactions you get, ready?
Okay.
Either complete silence, which basically means get the fuck out of here, I'm taking a shit.
Right.
Someone like me, like, bro, I'm taking a shit.
Right.
Or a voice changer. You ever see like a voice changer like, I'm going to be a minute. So what I do is I wait like off to the side because I have to know who's in the bathroom. Okay. And you got to give them the walk of shame. Right. Where they walk past you. And then I do this. Safe to go in there?
Yeah.
So fucked up. Like, it's okay. And then, like when I get in there, if it smells like shit, you stinky motherfucker. Yeah, that's the best. Huh?
That's the best. I love it. Good.
First off, taxi is the rhythm of New York. This is not the rhythm of New York. You don't call and wait for 10 minutes. I'll show up. No, the rhythm of New York is in motion. You put a hand up, you get in, you go.
Smart.
Also, do you watch old movies and you see the taxis? It makes you happy. And the fact that you can't get a taxi now makes you mad. I used to do a bit about the fact that like you get in an Uber and it's like, they're just like, it's like a first date. You're like, are you Sam? And you're just like, yeah, it's me, you know? But you get in a cab, it's like a marriage. You get in there on speakerphone. You're like, you're drunk, you're eating, they're mad at you. It's like a whole thing.
It's a whole thing, yeah. It is funny like how human beings, how like automatically where like there must be life on other planets and it has to be more advanced than us. It's like, what if we are the most advanced? What if there is life on other planets, but we've made it the furthest? That's possible too. That's so possible.
What if they get here? But they're not going to get here if they're dumb. You
Right.
know, that if they get here, they have. I think that's the whole point. They have more technology, but that would be great if they land here and they're just like, duh, duh. And we're like, wow, this is very disappointing.
Oh my God.
I always think like, what if they land here and they're ahead of us technologically, but only by like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we're like, what do you got? And they're like, you guys have the new Adobe update. And we're like, this is fucking disappointing. That's all you got?
Or they're light years ahead of us. Like, I'm talking about trillions of years ahead of us, but it's still the same shit. They're fucking racist, sexist. They're like grabbing titties. They're like doing everything where you're like, what? This never changed?
Imagine they land and you have to do their podcast.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We're like it does good numbers. You got to, you're like, all right, I'll do it. You ever when you're like young and you have that friend and they're like rude to their mom?
Yeah.
And you're super uncomfortable. I knew a kid growing up who was just like so rude to his mom. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just making me uncomfortable. I'm not
No.
saying you're his mom, but like,
No.
but I'm saying when you were a kid. You ever
No.
like when you were a kid and you have that friend? I had a friend's mom, and she would say to him like, you know, he was like a short little kid, and he'd be like, look how handsome you are. And he'd be like, why don't you get some friends, you fucking loser? And I'd be like, I'm right here.
You guys ever just gone on TikTok and scrolled down? It's a weird hellscape.
All I get is like, I think the ones I like are food related. So I always get some dude like the perfect grilled cheese, and he just like squeezes it, and you're like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
It's a lot of like pulling on cheese.
Yeah,
like
I know.
look how cheesy this sandwich is. And
I
you're
know.
like, oh.
I love that Sam's next TikTok's going to be a set, like his Corden set killing, then cut to him just pulling cheese. in the green room.
Look at that. Or it's a dude in a Volvo who's like, we're gonna see if this fast food sandwich is overrated or underrated. And he's like,
He's pulling he's pulling the cheese. It's just his dates on the cheese. Pulling it out. It's like Albany, Syracuse.
that's like San Antonio and the cheese. TikTok is, or you get the people that are like, a lot of people think New York's overpriced, but that's just if you don't know where to go. And
Yeah.
then you're like, it's like dollar pizza. I'm like, no, we know about dollar pizza.
Yeah. And I've always thought this but again, just nice to get it kind of, nice to hear an old person kind of tell you like, yes, you're right, is family, for whatever reason, work it out with your family, because for whatever reason, at the end of your life, they all said this, you realize that there's a common bond that you have with family members that we don't really understand. You're connected to your family, and because you don't choose your family, your blood relatives, they're put there, and there's a higher purpose for that, and they don't know why. Friends, you know, ex-husbands, wives, whatever, you can choose to get rid of them, and your life can improve. That's fine. But they said family, all of them regretted not rekindling a relationship with their family if they hadn't by the end of their life. I've realized, I used to always, like even now at this point, if this was Chrissy 2 years ago, what I would say right now is, oh yeah, I've lost 15 pounds, but it's not like I'm ripped, or it's not like I'm 200 pounds, or it's not like this, not like that. It's not about the end goal. It's about the journey. When you get to the end, it's never really that fun. Right? It's the journey. It's the journey to get through this. So all I have to say is, I'm better today than I was 2 weeks ago. I'm better today than I was last night. Nobody cares. Yesterday and tomorrow don't matter. Only the present matters. That's the only thing that matters. You know, we'll hate on this, and I get the hate. I get it. But it's one of those things where in her line of work, in the Kardashians' line of work, which is reality stars, nobody does it better than them. Yeah. Nobody does better than them. And Howie Mandel at the podcast was like, you and your family you have Kardashians-like energy. And I was like, that's insane. He was like, he goes, I see that Distefano as being the next Kardashians. I was like, I will go trans right now. I'll go Bruce right now and do it. There's type 1, type 2, type 3 civilizations. He said, we're probably 100 years from being a type 1 civilization. Then we're about 10,000 years from a type 2. And then, which I think type 1, you can harness the power of your planet. Type 2, you can harness the power of your galaxy. And then I think type 3, it's the power of the universe, where you time and
Yeah, I think it's like black holes.
yeah, like you can create, do whatever you want. He said, so we're 100,000 years away from being a type 3 civilization. He said, so what if, he said, just think, and this is interesting. He said, just think about a civilization that would be 500 years ahead of us, how much ahead of us they'd be. I mean, think about us 500 years ago. I mean, you know, the most invincible, I mean, you know, we could take a country like freaking, you know, Sri Lanka right now, and their army could beat the Spanish Armada in a day. They'd kill them all.